table here. Not really sure why. Anyhow, with that said, what's going on? Welcome to Wheel Wednesday, and I feel a little bit more like a broadcast anchor. A little strange, but if you have any questions, throw them in, and we'll be happy to answer them. So let's kind of brush up real quick while we wait for people to come in.
Yeah.
So if you got those Q and A's, throw them in, and I'll, Q and A them. So basically, this Friday we have a piece of content. What is the content this Friday?
We are doing the EJ Subaru
right.
engine
Yeah,
anatomy.
So if you saw any of our videos where we did some of the content, we put up a piece of content in case you are under a rock with us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is, we do some fun videos over there, and not a lot of it's about wheels. It's just kind of like car stuff. And we do something called, engine anatomy? Is that what we do?
Engine anatomy, yep.
Yeah, so basically what we do is we go through some different things. And so in this series, today, for Friday, we're conquering the EG25, right?
Yep, EG20 and EG25, yeah.
Oh, we're going to do them both.
Yep.
How nice. So for you, if you want to check that out, make sure you head over to YouTube, KONIG WHEELS USA. Get subscribed. A lot of good things happen there. I don't want you to miss out. Anyhow, with that said, today's podcast, today's an off podcast week. Right?
Off podcast week, so we're
check out the reels. We got reels going on.
Reels going on, and we drew the piece of content that we dropped. The podcast that we dropped last week was really interesting. We did Unique Clutch, which I really liked that one, man. That was a really fun one. Seeing you guys talk about that,
I like those dudes. We had that was a podcast that was plagued with errors, and what I mean by that is technical issues. But the guys are super cool. The product's interesting, and we had a great time rapping with them. And they're just cool car Australian dudes. And I think having an accent like that, especially, it really kicks things up a notch. So maybe we'll try to come to you with an accent at some point.
Yeah.
To mix it up. You know what I mean?
Brian said Max sounds a little foreign today.
Max?
That's me. It's Luis, man. Dan, do I sound foreign? Sheesh.
Well, I mean, that's racist.
But one of the questions that we got is, where can I get some decagrams, please?
Yeah, of course, man. We got them right there on a whole bunch of websites. You just type in KONIG decagram, shoots up, put on one of those plastic card numbers, those credit card numbers. It just comes right to your house. It's amazing.
For some reason, I can't scroll back up. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on today.
Luis can't scroll. Are you scrolling now?
Oh, there's another question. Okay. 17940 anthracite hyperspecs update.
Yes.
Have a set of order with a local dealer, wondering if you have any idea of the window that I should expect them in.
I do, and you're going to be super disappointed. You know why? Because I actually wanted the same part number for one of my cars.
Hey.
And I just followed up with it, and they're only shipping at the end of this month, which means that it's got to be damn near end of August.
Yeah.
Which disappoints me too, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm the president of the company and I don't have a set. It's been a weird year.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it just keeps getting stranger. So I apologize for that, but I believe that is the most accurate timeline. I am pushing on them to try to move some stuff in. The problem is when we talk about production, when we look about a single wheel or a single part number or a single model, problem is we're making wheels for other brands, other companies. We're making all of our wheels. They're going to different places. We have, and it's just...
Yeah.
We started behind, we're ending behind.
So another question that we got is to Brian, CLT Brian, shout out to Brian. He asked, what's an update on the bronze? Do we have any bronze hyperspecs in-house yet?
So we don't have them in-house yet, but I think we are getting some the end of this week or beginning of next week. I know that I saw, because I was looking, I know 18.5, 514.5 bronze are coming in. There was probably 6, 7, 8 different part numbers that I saw arriving. I believe it's around the 22nd. So that should give you a little bit more firm of a day. So plus or minus a few days, but it could easily show up a little earlier too.
Someone said, I have them ordered, just waiting for them to come in.
I know, me too. I want everybody to understand that. This isn't we're exempt from this. All this crap, it stinks. And I'm sorry, I really am. for everybody that put the orders in and didn't get the wheels. Like I really do apologize. I wish there was some other things we could have done to make it different, and it gets really confusing. I mean, complicated as to why one model is affected, maybe not another. But listen, I hope we get them. I hope you love them when you get them. I appreciate you waiting if you are waiting, and if you can't wait, I understand. I'm really sorry.
Over in YouTube land,
Yep.
I've been looking to get these rims because they are absolutely beautiful. Which rims?
Yes.
Even though
I still like his sentiment. I feel super strange in this chair, but I'm just telling you.
And then I got
Is this low? I feel like I'm looking.
No,
No?
you're good. Yeah,
All right.
you're good.
All right.
What else we get? So there's something wrong with. I can't scroll back down to the comments. So we're just gonna go with what we got first. What's going on, boys? Hope all is well. Battle Mini is set to wage war in the autocross Saturday and pose at the block party on Sunday. Countdown to grid life.
So, all right. So let me see if I'm right. So is it the Coliseum that you're going to this weekend for autocross, and then is the block party talking about the Crown Speed?
I think
one?
that's the one he might be
Just
talking
checking,
about.
you
Yeah.
know, trying to hear what's up.
Question:
Yes.
If I want to rock your banners on my wrap, will I need to apply for a sponsorship? Ooh, good question. I've never gotten that
if you
one.
want to put a logo
Yeah.
on your car?
Yeah.
No, man. Like we take. Listen, if you have our wheels and you're running one of our logos, we super appreciate that. Like really do. So no, you don't need any formal sponsorship or anything like that. And if you'd like the logo file, you're welcome to, send us a message and we can get you it. It will come with consent that basically says this is, this is allowed for use as, placement on a vehicle to show support or something like that. But yeah, but if not, you're welcome. You're welcome to use it as long as it's a, you're not misrepresenting anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue Ree, by the way. Blue Ree asks, are we going to be watching FDSTL this week?
Yeah, I do. Well, I usually keep it on in the background. I usually find myself in the garage, so I usually put it on the TV in the garage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anthracite metallic polish lip, 18.5, 35, delayed too, or is this one coming early August?
All right, so let's talk about the delay. Like everything technically is delayed because we were supposed to bring this wheel out a few months ago. Now you have me thinking, is it 18.5, 35? I was looking at those two. I think that they're like a few weeks away. I think that they're close though. I think I remember seeing them on the paperwork list. You could always DM us so we can get you a better date. I'm trying to remember. We have thousands of part numbers, right? So, but I was looking at a set of those as well, kind of deciding. I have a couple cars that I picked up recently, and I'm like trying to figure out what to put on what. So that's what has me looking. So, yeah, I get it.
Drifter Gone Wild, shout out to Drifter Gone
Yeah,
Wild.
man.
He's on his way to FD, and he said he saw the Prospect team. He's looking forward to it.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Well, make sure you tag us on some stuff out there if you feel like it. Adam's killing it out there, right? All right.
92 EG, do you have any suggestions for wheels? My color is red.
So I think the one thing that you left out for me to be able to give you an opinion on what wheels is, let's talk about size. Because size on an EG especially is going to really set you up for what the look is going to be on that car, okay? You have some options. Look, if you're looking to bolt on, not have any issue, not have any mess, 15.7.5 is definitely the way to go in the 30s to 40s as far as offset goes. If you have some things done, coilovers, lowering, different things like that, some of those guys will run 15/8s. You could do like 15, whatever. But it starts to get, like, you got to massage them in, you have to do some things, and then you'll have other guys that are just going to tell you, oh, yeah, I run the craziest stuff because they run camber and a whole bunch of stuff. So let's start about the size, yeah? Yep.
Okay, awesome. Just wanted to get approval. I really respect the brand. Once the wrap is done and have the banner placed, I'll have to tag you guys. What wheels are you running, by the way? Just curious if you already have the wheels. What wheels are you running? Just because I'm just also your car. What car do you have and all that? So very interesting. Okay.
Tell us all that Louis says.
If you could pick 3 wheels for an NA, which one would it be and why?
for an NA?
Yeah.
We're talking about Miata,
Which,
I guess?
yeah, I'm assuming I'm.
I didn't know if you were talking about for like a naturally aspirated car. I was like, all right, so 3 wheels for an NA Miata.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of choices, right?
Yeah.
I think at this point, I really like the idea of the hyperspecs. I think they're pretty dope looking, and I like new wheels. I think Hypergram kind of throws in as a classic. And I think the Decagram's a cool wheel as well. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some Heliograms that look really good. And I'll tell you what wheel really is underrated, especially for that size, because we made that so if you look at the Konig Ultragram, the wheel is probably right up there with the most concave that we have for that specific size. And it comes with neural bead seats and stuff, so it's a pretty cool wheel. So the Ultragram would definitely be up there for me too.
What wheels for a supercharged V6?
You haven't told us the car yet.
Blueberry, what is Blueberry's question? Is a question here. What wheel for a supercharged V6?
Just give me the car again, man, because I want to make sure we're talking about the car I think we're talking about.
Someone replied with MK1s. Okay. I have a 23 GR Corolla wrapped in Midnight Venom running the countergrams in the hypersonic chrome, they wrote.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I know. That's dope. Yeah, send pics for sure.
I need those wheels that Scott has on his 350Z that he decided not to release. I have $3.
I mean, you could have trouble with that then. Those were the basically. I had made a set of Hypergrams forged that I was gonna release, and then we didn't release, and they're in Hyper, and yeah, they're dope.
Nah, I'm just saying shit. Low key, what would you put on a 2003 LeSabre? Grandma's car.
I don't know. I don't know if I would own a LeSabre, so it's like hard for me to picture what wheels to put on there. I also don't really inherently remember the exact fitment of the LeSabre. I want to say, depending on the year, that it may be 5-1-15, but it could also not be 5-1-10 maybe. I don't remember. I'm sorry. You got me off guard there with the LeSabre.
Okay. I want to get a set of wheels, but what's the difference between getting forged and flow form besides the price?
All right, so that actually is a question I can answer.
Nice.
All right, so when it comes down to a flow form wheel, basically what's going to happen is a flow form wheel and a forged wheel have shared similarities. However, there's a huge distinct difference, and here's where it is. A flow form wheel is going to have a lot of the advantages that you'll see in forging, but it's only going to be in the barrel, because how flow forming works is essentially the wheel after casting is spun under heat, and what happens is 2 dies essentially go into the wheel, and what we're going to do is we're going to start from the barrel closest to the face, and we're going to start to extrude out the aluminum. So when let's say we cast the wheel on a flow form wheel, we want it to be an 1810.5. We may cast that at an 18.7.5, and then we'll continuously, push those dies together as we spin the wheel under heat, and we'll extrude out the barrel. So what happens is the molecular structure that changes the same way on a forged wheel is going to start to happen in that barrel area, because we're squeezing and compressing that material, right? We're tightening up the grain structure. Now, what does that allow us to do? It allows us to get a lighter weight wheel than a traditional cast wheel. It allows us to get a wheel that has more rigidity, strength, and shock resistance in the barrel of the flow form wheel. So now, where do they start to differentiate? Well, a forged wheel is completely, pressed into a much more forged state, where the entire wheel has that tight grain structure and different things like that. What it allows us to do with a forged wheel is it allows us to remove more material, because we can achieve the same load ratings that we want with the use of less material, because the material is stronger that's there. So the difference really is going to come down to weight, strength, and rigidity, right? If you have to pick a choice, I always say go with whatever your budget allows you and whatever your use is kind of checking the boxes on, right? If you're on the racetrack a lot, or if you're just looking to have the best, if you're looking to have the lightest wheel, and you have the money, Forge is a great way to go. If you're on more of a budget constraint and you're looking for something that's really going to be the best bang for the buck, be a really decent lightweight wheel, you don't need to push the envelope. You don't need to have every little tiny ounce out of the wheel. Flowform is a terrific option. And I run Flowform wheels on a bunch of my cars too. So it's not like, I have Forged wheels on some of the cars and I have Flowform wheels on the other ones. So really, you'll be in good shape either way. Just decide what your budget allows. I mean, I'd love to tell you get a Forged wheel because I love having a Forged stuff on the street. But you got to pick what's right for you.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Send me some wheels, twin.
Twin.
Maybe you guys look alike to him.
Sorry for him.
I'm planning on getting an E46.
Okay.
Looking at getting heliograms.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's an option. I mean, Caleb Quanback has them on his E46, and I don't know if the content has ever come to the light of day, but I shoved that right into the dirt. Yeah.
This may mean something to you. I don't know what this means, but some Daytons on the Buick for sure. What does that mean?
So Daytons were like wire wheels. That was like way back old stuff that they used to see on some of the lowriders and stuff. Yeah, that would be kind of dope actually. I like that.
Oh, so they responded, we look exactly alike.
Are we like brothers? Is there something that mommy didn't
that
tell
is
me?
so random.
Interesting. Send a pic because now I'm curious to see what you look like. Sorry that you look like me.
Oh, the guy the one that said, look, my oversteers are outdated. So he got himself some oversteers.
Yeah, listen, oversteers are a timeless wheel. We still sell a lot of oversteers, but like here's the thing, and I don't know if you guys feel this way. I feel this way all the time. I'll put wheels in my car, and after a season, I'm bored. I already want to change them. I think, it doesn't happen with every wheel, but I tend to be like, all right, like now I've seen them enough, and I want something different, right? So I understand that feeling 100%. What I like about wheels and tires, more wheels than tires, but what I like about wheels is that there's an immediate, instant gratification between just bolting. I mean, the easiest thing in the world to do is bolt on a set of wheels, and your car immediately changes to a night and day difference from what you had the last time, right? And for the most part, as long as your wheels are kept in good condition, you can get a good amount of the money you spent back selling them used, right? That really does allow you the opportunity to kind of do some continuous, very impactful, like visual modifications, really easy and pretty cost effectively.
You got to drive Caleb's E46. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I pleaded with him not to let me. We have it on film. Basically, what ended up happening was, if I played on the sim, yeah, I've drifted on the sim a little bit. Caleb was like when I went to go hang out with him. We've been friends with Caleb for a long time now, but probably almost 10 years. But anyhow, bottom line, he was like, yo, you're gonna take the car, you go drift. And I'm like, no, like I haven't drifted in real life here, and just on the sim. And he's like, no, and he just egged me on. So
You didn't do that bad, man. I saw you.
It had its moments.
As I like watching you, each time you would progress a little bit more. You start to figure it out. It was kind of cool to watch.
And then it just got to a point where I overcooked the turn and put it into the dirt. And it wasn't a big deal. Like they had to clean the car. But what I'm saying is I took that as a sign of like, all right, I didn't damage your stuff. Let's not go any further. Yeah. You
never forget your first wheels. He had on his AE86. He had rewinds all through college.
I get that. Still have the rewinds, which is mind-boggling to me.
Your twin asks, "Are these weekly?"
Yeah, we do this at 2 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. We do the live. Just wait, so everybody knows where we're going to be if they have questions or concerns or issues we answer as many comments, DMs, emails all the time, but we've been doing this for years now, and just the idea of being able to rap live with you guys and be able to answer questions that you may have, or not have it be one of those things where it takes forever to get a response back and forth, right? So yeah, weekly.
Before you started with Konig, was there another wheel company that you really liked and drew inspiration from?
Well, so let's break that question down. Were there any other wheel companies that I liked before I joined Koenig? Yeah, but there's wheel companies I like now. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't like we're car people, right? So like, I mean, I feel very privileged that my career path has led me down a road where I get to make wheels not only for the stuff I like, but for the stuff that other people hopefully will like. And I try to make the best wheels that we possibly can make. And it's hard maybe from the outside looking in, but from here, like you should see how much effort we put into every wheel design, right? So like that's real. Now, as far as other wheels, yeah, like I have appreciation for a lot of different wheels, and there's a tremendous amount of really iconic, classic, cool designs. I think I look at this question, like when you say about influence, I look at this question more from the perspective of like when a musician is asked about their influence, about what made their sound, right? Like, and what I mean by that is like, inspiration, I think when people think about wheels is like, oh, like do they copy things, right? And the problem with wheels is that inherently you could start to develop a wheel and majority of the time you're going to always come up with, there's been so many wheels over the years and so many wheel companies, you're always going to find something that's going to, somebody's going to say this looks like this or this looks like this. And there's a difference between a copy and something that maybe appears like, right? Like, good luck trying to design a 5-spoke wheel and somebody doesn't say, oh, that looks like this or that looks like that. 10-spoke wheels, everything's been done to death. As far as the stuff I liked, I mean, I would say growing up, like I was a big fan of a lot of like, different, tuner inspired brands and, or tuner brands, and does that cloud some of the design work that we'll do? Sure, because I like that stuff, right? And this company has kind of been built on a lot of that stuff. But I don't know if there's one brand that I say like that's the brand, right? I have certain wheel models that I like, but I don't know that we've ever made wheels exactly like them.
Do you guys make 19 and 20-inch wheels?
Yep.
Yeah. What was that? Oh. Do you guys like C30s? I don't even know. These questions are...
Yeah, I'm C30s. Help me here. What?
The Volvo C30, little hatchback guy.
Oh. Yeah, I do. What was the old wagons, the turbo wagons?
V70.
Yeah, no.
V70 wagon.
Because all right, so Nick's filming it. So the V70 wagon to me was like always like super cool. I even went to the Volvo Museum when I was in Sweden, and it was incredible how many cool original cars that they had there, and how many they've restored and received back. So yeah, I'm down for some of the turbo Volvo stuff. Yeah.
They had a great i5. That inline 5 turbo was bulletproof. Those things were tanks.
They were cool cars.
Yeah. No,
especially like when you can make them like the one that Caleb has, the one that he put I think he put an LS in, right? Gingium, but that car was super cool.
Only so many ways to make a 5-spoke wheel. Yeah.
Only so many ways. You guys, listen. You want to hear something? This is hysterical to me. There's so many times that if I go into the comment section when we put up a wheel or whatever, you're always gonna get the people that were super hardcore in one direction on a brand or whatever, and they're gonna say, oh, this looks like this or this looks like this, right? And the problem is that if you would see how many wheels we would make every year, design every year, not make, and how many of them were like, oh, it looks dope, it looks great, oh, look at, and then one of the sales guys or somebody will walk in, they'll be like, that looks just like this wheel, and then we'll go look at a picture and be like, damn, and then we'll literally scrap the wheel design. Like literally, it just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
We go. It's so inherently like we're trying not to, that we don't look at any wheels. We just kind of start making things. It's just so easy to inadvertently make something that looks like something else. Hard.
There's a person outside at your side.
At my side? Oh, you're talking about my ring camera? My guess is it's my daughter.
Just got your canograms. Great wheels.
Dude, thanks so much. Appreciate
Awesome,
you.
yeah.
Really do.
Favorite tires: off-road, street tire. Track, and go.
Wait, all those categories?
Favorite tires: off-road, street, track, and go. So I'm assuming they want to know which ones you like.
Favorite off-road stuff. Shout out to the boys at Nitto.
Ooh, yeah.
Right? I'll throw Nitto there. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are gonna love Toyos and different things like that. I'm throwing it purely from an emotional standpoint. I also like Max's Off-Road if they have the stuff, because my boy John.
Yeah.
When it comes down to, I don't know. Listen, I think it depends on what your budget is. I mean, I like some of the Falcon stuff for the bang for the buck, especially that like the 660 and stuff like that. If you're going to be kind of looking for a good competitive tire that's affordable, I've used plenty of Nitto stuff, and I think that stuff ends up being pretty good.
What about track tires?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think depending
GT Radial.
On budget, I've never used GTs. I don't really know. I mean, I've used some Hankook stuff. I think some of the Hankook stuff is pretty quick. I think you have whatchamacallit? Definitely the Falcon tire seems to be pretty quick. There was even that Nankang, which is crazy. That Nankang performance tire that supposedly people were finding really good luck with for some of the road racing stuff. So I think it just depends. I wish I had like that, I don't know if I have enough experience road racing that I can really give you that 100% that I think you're looking for.
Yeah. How do 35 offset wheels affect the drive of a car that comes with stock 55 millimeter offset wheels?
It's a good question. I think the problem that you have with that question is it's a little bit out of context in the sense that we're not I would need to know the width on which one in which car. There are a lot of cars that will come with wheels from the factory that are very conservative. You may get, an 18 by 8, at a 58 or something, or a 55, and then the car easily can take an 18 by 8.5 at a 43, right? And you say, well, we went down the offset by, let's say 12 millimeters, and we increased width a half an inch. It really comes down to, does the car take it? Can you bolt a good tire on it that will give you the correct overall rolling diameter, bolt it on, not have any issues, not have any rubbing, make the car look more aggressive? Then you're good. There used to be this thing, especially like I think the Subaru community was really big on this concept like many years ago, that you had to have the highest possible offset because it put the wheels under the car. And if you look at when we start talking about like cars like Porsche and Corvette and stuff like that, they're very, very wide but high offset wheels. So the idea was that putting as much of the wheel and the tire under the car as possible, but then filling out the fenders with the extra width. I think for the most part, as long as you're not overdoing on the scrub radius and causing yourself any issues, I think going to the widest and lowest width kind of, expands the track width and kind of gives you a little bit more handling property. So I'm kind of on that boat.
The Kenda Vendas is an up-and-comer great street slick.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Early Hondas and Acuras like NSX and S2000s have this issue where they run high offsets and fitting anything lower, you would run into issues.
Yeah, I mean some of the like if you start to look at like the NSX, I mean that was one of those ones where they used two different diameters and they had two different widths, and the offsets were pretty crazy in the front. Like in the front they wanted you to run like a 7, like a 38 or something like that, right? And the rear, you can get a little bit wider back there, 9.5. But you had to be into the like 35, 40 type of range. But there's always little caveats to everything, depending on, some cars, if you have coilovers or narrow spring perch, if you have the ability to put a little bit of camber or a little bit of adjustment into the suspension without going crazy. Sometimes you can do it through adjusting the tire size. Sometimes you could do it from just adjusting your ride height. A lot of variables there. So every car becomes a little bit more independent of the next.
So they're actually running a 2018 Q50.
Okay.
And the
sport or regular?
So I bought some new wheels, same as stock size, 19 8.5, but the offset is 35 millimeter rather than 55 millimeter.
That should be fine. You said 19 8.5 for the 35, right?
19 8.5.
Yeah, you dude on a Q50. Oh, sorry, I just got nice to sitting at the table. On a Q50, he said it was a Q50, right?
Yes, Q50.
So if it's a Q50 and you're running a 19.5 at a 35, you should be all well and good. I mean, really, you should. It should actually fill up the car nicely and not be aggressive by any means. You got to run the right size tire. And if you have a Q50 Sport, before you mount the tires on them, go ahead and make sure you do a brake check because they have pretty large sport brakes on there.
They have sport suspension, but normal brakes.
Okay, so if you don't have the Akabonos that came on that car, then you should be good. That wheel actually will look very good on your car and it won't give you any issues.
Got the countergrounds with an A-face, an 18.5, 38 offset with a VA STI caliber on my VB WRX. No issues.
Yeah, no, it won't. That clears that, no problem. So, yeah, that's a good look. It's a good reason why if you had gone on, there is no B profile on the 19.5, I don't believe. But what I'm saying is, there's a reason we had to make that at an A profile because for the guy like you that's going to run them square, you're going to have that big brake, and that big brake is going to cause havoc if we tried to make that wheel concave. So, good looks.
Scott Hollingworth says, "Hi Scott, long time no chat."
How are you? You still running grid life, or you're taking it easy?
That's it for now, man.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, if that's it, we're gonna get out of here. If you have any other questions and you can get them in here before we leave this thing, I'll answer them. But if not, then we're gonna kind of head out the chat.
He said,
"Oh, go ahead."
The Q50 homie says, only reason I ask is because I'm not sure if it's that fact that I have new tires or the wider track width that's giving me a bit of a sway feeling at 100 miles per hour in a straight line.
All right. I'm gonna pretend that either you are in Mexico or you're on a racetrack where 100 miles an hour is completely permitted. Let's talk about that sway factor. There's a couple things that can potentially give you a feeling of sway. One, definitely could be the tires. Okay, so what I would suggest is, if they're not new tires or used tires or anything like that, you may want to look into that. Second is, did you use the right wheel hardware? Okay, this is kind of one of those ones you really want to check out. Most aftermarket wheels are going to use conical seat lug nuts. If you try to use anything other than that, you could have an issue where it feels like the wheel's tight, but they're not really tight to the car, okay? So that's an important thing to check. And lastly, I think, like you said, I would just make sure that everything during the installation, that you have hub-centric rings or anything like that to make sure that the wheel is perfectly hub-centric to the vehicle. You do those things, I think you're probably gonna find one of those things to be amiss. But it shouldn't be the scrub radius that's causing your vehicle to feel like it's swaying. So I suspect that there's something else going on there.
Scott says, still at Grid Life and Hypergram still going strong.
Sick.
And then Q50 homie says, in Mexico, laughing.
Of course. Oh, in Mexico. All right. Well, be careful in those Mexican roads. You know what I mean? We don't want to see you get into any issues.
That's it, man.
That's it. Thanks for hanging out with us. We do this every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We come live to you. We do this whole Wheel Wednesday thing. Don't forget, sometimes, every other week, not this week, but next week, we have a podcast that usually goes live 3 p.m. on our YouTube channel, and then it ends up following us on a bunch of different podcast platforms within the next day. So if you'd like to listen to us in the car, you can argue whether that's a good idea or not, but if you'd like to listen to us in the car, you can. iTunes, iHeartMedia, Spotify, Stitcher,
all those places.
Yep. Google stuff.
Yep.
Right? And don't forget, if you haven't yet, get subscribed to our YouTube channel because one, it makes us feel good.
Yep.
All we have in our lives are numbers and likes.
Yep.
And then the other thing that is really cool is we put out a lot of content there, and a lot of it's very fun content. Go check out our YouTube channel if you haven't. It's a good look. Spread the word. And if you have a truck, we have our Mamba Off-Road brand. That's kind of new. MambaWheels.com. Go check it out. Let us know what you think of the M2829 new wheels. That's dope. And
the funny thing is, I'm almost positive there's a Q50 fitment guide too that you guys did.
We did.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So there you go, man.
Yeah, you can go over to the YouTube and we do some fit checks. We call
it.
Fit check. I think we did Q50.
Yeah.
So you should be covered there.
There you go, man.
That's it, man.
Enjoy Mexico, dude. All right. Thank you, guys.
Take care of yourself. We'll catch you all next week.
Peace.